These two new enchantments are a game changer. Welcome back to the Club House SMP Season 8. I'm outnumbered, and in between episodes, I've been doing some mining. I've got half a stack of redstone ore here placed down, and I have something exciting to show you. We have a new enchantment on the server. It's a mod, I believe, and it's called Vein Mine. I have it here on this Fortune 3 pickaxe. And if we mine one of these redstone ore using the Vein Mine enchantment, we get them all. And that is definitely a game changer. There's another new enchantment on the server as well. Wow. Look at all the XP coming in, plus all the redstone as well. Okay, let's go ahead and craft this into a block quickly. And the other new enchantment that we have on the server is called Timber Strike, and I'll show you how it works. First, I need to grow up some trees. So I'm going to use the big spruce here. We'll put down 12 saplings and use bone meal to grow them up. There we go. There's 1, 2, and give me a third one, please, before I run out of bone meal. Perfect. So we have 3 giant spruce trees here. And if I use the new enchantment, just like Vein Mine, you'll see that Timber Strike removes all the logs at once. Oh, it didn't quite work on these back ones, but that's pretty rare. Usually they all collapse at once, and then the leaves will decay and drop the rest of those logs and saplings. Another game-changing enchantment. Unfortunately, Timber Strike is not too kind to the durability on my axe. Every time I use it, it knocks it down considerably. So what I like to do is offhand it and come and trade some sticks to our Fletcher villager. There we go. Let's lock a bunch of these in for emeralds. And a stick trade is the #1 trade right now for getting emeralds around here. But in between episodes, I made a new farm, and so we have another new way to get emeralds, and that is from trading pumpkins to our farmer villager. I don't have a lot of pumpkins yet, but in between episodes, beneath this villager house here, I've put in a very simple automatic pumpkin farm. Let's take a look at it. So you can only see just through this piece of glass here that we have your standard observer and piston activated automatic pumpkin farm. I'm using those jack-o'-lanterns for lighting because we don't have a lot of light block choices at the moment. The nether is inaccessible, so glowstone is hard to get, except for those lucky few who have a cleric villager trade. 34 pumpkins. And of course, we don't have access to shroom lights or any of the frog lights yet, but jack-o'-lanterns work perfectly well for lighting. Let's go trade some pumpkins. Half a stack of pumpkins won't get me much, but we can trade to this farmer here with the pumpkin and melon trade. And it looks like we had just enough to level him up, which means I believe we can now buy golden carrots. Yeah, we have a golden carrot trade here. We can also purchase glistening melon slices. In between episodes, I started working on another new farm as well, and that's a bee farm. I have some honeycomb now from my bee farm, which we'll take a look at later in the episode. But as you can see, the roof on my villager hut here is oxidizing, and I knew it would happen. But now I can do something about it finally. Now that we have wax, let's go ahead and come up here on the roof. We'll just connect over like that, and then we can use our axe to clean this up. We're going to restore everything back to its original condition, and then use the wax to prevent it from oxidizing in the future. I believe we might even get an advancement for it called Wax On. Alright, did I get all the wax? Not wax, all the copper deoxidized? Almost. I'm not sure I have enough, actually. I might run out of honeycomb before I can finish the entire roof, but let's see how much we can do. Okay, so that's everything back to its original state. Let's go ahead and start waxing here. Yeah, we did get an advancement there called Wax On. And before we run out of honeycomb, let's see if we can get at least this outer layer of stairs all waxed up. It looks like once you wax it, you can't double click the wax on it. So there's no way for me to overuse, right? So that should be the entire first row done. I don't think I have enough to do the entire top, but let's see how many we can get. Okay, it looks like we got all that done, and we can do a few of these ones on the inside. I'm not too worried about these top ones, because you'll barely be able to see them from down below. And now that we've waxed most of the copper on our roof here, we can go ahead and get the other advancement as well, which is wax off. I have a major problem with my hole. It's mostly a storage problem, but as you can see, our little starter base down here is getting a little bit crowded, and especially these chests here. All 6 of these double chests are almost all the way full. There's an empty spot there. Completely full, completely full, completely full. One spot there. And one spot there. So we've got about 3 spots available in all 6 of these chests, and that just won't do. So in the next episode, we're going to have to gather some resources and plan a new build. I'm not even sure exactly where I want to put it yet, but I think this here is going to be kind of a farming area. We've got our villager trading hall over there, but eventually I would like to move them out as well. So I need to think about where I can put down a structure that we can turn into a storage area and living space. But we probably won't get to that until the next episode because I have some planning to do and some resource gathering as well. There is one more thing that I wanted to show you from in between episodes. As you know, I've been working on leveling up this armor here. I have 3 diamond pieces here that now have full enchants on them. Everything but Swift Sneak and Soul Speed. So everything has Unbreaking and Mending, of course. It's all protection 4. And on the boots that you can see that we have Feather Falling 4, Depth Strider, and on the helmet, Respiration and Aqua Infinity. So we're going to go ahead and grab this set of diamond armor, and we're going to scrap this scrub armor that we've been wearing. And we'll finally get geared up here. I have a couple more things to show you, but first we need to go on a little boat ride. We're headed to the iron farm, of course, where we're going to collect some more iron. But also, Sakana has been hard at work there on a new fishing hut, so we'll take a look at that. And in addition to that, we have a brand new little bee farm underground to look at. That's where I got the honeycomb to wax the copper earlier in the episode. Just ahead on the left is the little cove that leads over to the iron farm. And as soon as we get close enough, you'll see that there's a brand new fishing hut. I've already tested it out. It's a very good area for fishing. Very scenic, lots of tropical fish and turtles. Oh, look, there's even some smoke rising up. There must be some kind of chimney or campfire there. That'll be very good for cooking the fish. Let's go ahead and pull our boat into the dock, and we'll have a closer look at this thing. Oh, there's already a boat here. So it looks like we've got a chair right here on the edge. Yeah, I don't want to move that boat because it's an entity. But I should be able to... Can I get up here? There we go. So it looks like we've got a little chair here. Oh, Sakana's inside. What's going on with that campfire? Oh, my mic's not muted. Can you hear me? Sakana! No, she can't hear me. Maybe she doesn't have the voice mod on or installed. In any case, it's a very nice fishing hut. I see there's a new anvil here and grindstone as well. And so we'll be doing some fishing here later. But first, I want to show you the bee farm that I made. So here is the iron farm, of course, and right down here, under this trap door, is our little AFK area. Let's go ahead and close that up. And just past these double doors here, this outer one and then this inner one, you can see that we have a brand new little bee farm here. And it looks like all the little beehives and this bee nest here at the end, which was the original, are full of honey. So let's go ahead and use our shears to get honeycomb so that we can craft a bunch more of these honey beehives. And actually, I want to go ahead and remove this original bee nest. So we're going to use Silk Touch to pick that up. I think, did I get it in my inventory? Yes, we did. And then we'll put a beehive in its place, and I don't have flint and steel. Okay, we'll come back and light that later. There we go. I got a piece of flint so we can make ourselves a flint and steel and reignite that campfire. Now, somewhere around here, there is another bee nest that Sakana said I could have. Oh, there it is over there. And I have Silk Touch on this pickaxe, so we can go ahead and grab this one as well. It's a good time to do it because even though it's not nighttime, it's raining, which means the bees should already be inside here. There's a barrel with honeycomb. All right, let's go ahead and grab that. And it does have bees in it. And so does the other bee nest. All right, great. So we have 2 bee nests. Here, let's remove this as well. And we'll go back and light that campfire now. Another thing that I wanted to do while we're here at the iron farm is get rid of some of these torches. So I made a bunch of jack-o'-lanterns, and I have some moss carpets as well. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these torches, place in a jack-o'-lantern, and then cover them up with a moss carpet, which I think will look a lot better than having a bunch of torches littered around. This turtle needs to move, but I have no seagrass. We'll get that one later. Let's go ahead and remove this torch here, and we'll do the same thing all the way around. In this episode, I'd like to start a shop at spawn. I want to be the first to bring honey products to the shopping market, and I've noticed a few shops going up at the spawn area. Eventually someone's gonna do it, and since I have my first bee farm started, I thought why not sell honeycomb and honey bottles? And maybe in the future we'll be able to sell some other honey related items as well, including candles. So here's the shopping area at the moment. You can see Sakana's geode shop is there. We saw this last time. This was Dieter's. What were they selling again? Something to do with sniffers, right? Sniffer flowers? Yeah, the seeds. Torch flower seeds and pitcher pods, that's right. For sale in this house here, which looks very nice. And there's a new addition to the shopping area over here. There's a little ice hut called Ice House. Candlelight. Candlelight is selling enchanted books. It looks like we have Timber Respiration. We've also got, what is that? Protection, I assume. Unbreaking and Mending as well. So we don't need enchanted books. What's this? Oh, there's another new shop here, it looks like. Somebody's working on a build. And if I'm not mistaken, this is going to be a moss shop. Did I get that correct? There's a sign. Moss shop coming soon. Okay, very good. So someone's planning to sell moss here. Now we need to pick an area and establish a little shop for our honey products. Maybe right up here somewhere. So this building here, this is for storage, I think, for builds in this area. So we might actually be able to rent a locker, so to speak, so that we can store some items, because it was really hard for me to get everything I needed for this build hauled over here to spawn. I need to find a suitable location for a pop-up shop. As you can see, I selected an area for the shop right here, just down the hill from some of the other shops. And I've put down some stone brick here. This is going to be the foundation for the shop. There's even a couple cracked already in, plus a crafting table. And in the middle we have two chests. This one says, coming soon, honey bottles, which can also be used to craft honey blocks. And on this side we have available now honeycomb, 1 diamond per stack. Now there's only 2 stacks inside, so they'll probably sell out pretty quick. But we'll get this shop stocked up just as soon as we get it built. Now what we need to do is put on the walls and the roof as well. So I'm planning to use some oak logs and some birch logs. And let's see, how do we want to do this? I think I want oak to be here, which means this is going to be birch. And then I think I'll do oak here, birch here, oak here, and then what does that leave me on the back? Because I want it to be somewhat symmetrical here. And it looks like maybe I need to extend it back by another block. So these logs are all going to be stripped, of course. I've done the bottom row there so that you can see it for an example. And now it's time to bring the walls up a little bit higher. I'm going to leave a gap here for a window. And I guess we should do the same on the back side. It'll just be opposite. It'll be on top of the birch logs instead of the oak ones. But we're going to bring up kind of a striped pattern here, alternating the birch and oak logs like so. So we need to skip that, which means birch, birch. And then I think on the front, above these birch logs right here are going to be birch fences. And after a bit of building, here is the end result. It still needs a little bit of details. I need to come back with some accessories like lanterns, and maybe even we could put in some greenery real quick. I have a few azalea leaves and flowering azalea leaves as well. I think I want to put some of those in here. I have some scaffolding hidden back here. There's also a campfire with a trapdoor on it. I'll explain that in just a moment. Let's put in some of the flowering azalea bushes. Do we go all the way up to the ceiling? Probably not. Yeah, that looks better already with a little bit of greenery there. And then one idea that I had for this shop is I brought, where did it go? I brought a beehive with bees in it. And I know these bees may eventually escape if somebody leaves the door open or opens the door to come in and they don't know about the bees. But that's okay. We can come back and fix that. I want to put this beehive here and see. Okay, there we go. So we have live bees in the shop. And even though these bees will probably get out over time, we can come back with a new, fully stocked and loaded beehive anytime and replace this one. And I think it'll even be able to collect honey because we have flowering azalea bushes here, which the bees love. And so they should be able to make honey in this beehive. And since there's a campfire underneath, customers may be able to come in here and shear this and collect some free honeycomb. You probably also noticed that I moved the chests up off the floor. The signs say pretty much the same thing, which is that honey bottles are coming soon, but we have some honeycomb available now. Okay, there we go. We just got some honey in. Here, I have shears. Let me shear this and see if we have any problems with the bees. I'm pretty sure that campfire will work down below, even though it's in the closed position. Do I need to open it first? I'm not sure. Maybe we just leave it open? And then if I shear this, yeah, no problem with the bees. And we get ourselves some free honeycomb, so that's pretty cool. For the front of the shop right now, I just have a sign that says Outnumbered's Bee Shop, but I was thinking it might be even cooler if we put an item frame somewhere, say here, and then we can go ahead and put one of our honeycomb on it so it's obvious what's being sold here. We'll eventually come back and put an item frame here with a honey bottle, but let's take a look at the rest of the build real quick. The roof isn't much to look at, but if we go up top, you can see it's just made out of the birch wood. And we've got some glass in here for a bit of a roof. Now, I was thinking about putting some leaves on the top too, like that building over there did. See how they have all the stuff growing on the roof and it looks really good? I like that. We might come back and do that at a later time. But for now, I think that this looks fine. And I was thinking about maybe putting in some more greenery on the outside here as well. We can put some bushes here. Maybe even make them 3 high. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And we'll do the same on this side. When I come back to stock the shop, I'll add some more details, but it's looking pretty good. I put some birch planks there in front of the shop, which is quite nice. And I've got the item frame ready for the honey bottles once I get some. Inside the shop, I also added a pair of shears here in an item frame. And I don't have a sign yet explaining what they're there for, but some people may understand that they can take honeycomb from this beehive for free. I should definitely put a sign for that. I'll do that later. But that's going to be it for this episode from the Club House SMP server. I'm Outnumbered, and I'll see you in the next episode.